Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. I'm Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing, put a ring on it, season 2, episode 3, and it is titled Doubling Down. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. So we started out this episode with Dr. Nicole basically telling everyone that this week the dates are going to be like everybody's going on a date and everybody's going to go on a date where their significant other is also on a date.
Yeah.
So we start out with Jessica. She had on a cat suit. That's what Tommy said. He was like, she got on a cat suit.
I was like, all right, I see you, Catwoman.
Jessica's going out on a date with Clarence, and we did see that they went to Negril Village, which if you guys are ever in Atlanta and like Jamaican food, go to Negril Village.
It's a great restaurant.
So Jessica started off talking about how she was loving his muscles. And then we see that Eric gets to meet up outside of the restaurant with Tynesha. Essentially, I can't remember who it was that said, I guess it was Sean. Sean was the one who told his date that they were going on a date in the same place. Yeah. But Eric did not.
No, not until they got there.
So when they got inside, he was like, well, I'm going to tell you something funny. That's my girl over there. Right. She's also on a date. And he and Tynesha got to the conversation of, what got you guys here going on dates with other people? Like, why am I here with you at this moment? So essentially, he just said that they have issues with communication. And she was just like, I'm big on communication. I need to talk things through. We got to get through the mishaps of a relationship. So let's talk it out.
Jessica's, I want to put this in there. Jessica was having a really good date.
Oh, she was.
Until Eric came in there.
But you know what? I don't feel like Eric transitioned the energy of her date. He just slowed it down. Yeah. I don't think that her date took a turn for the bad because Eric was there. I think it was more so like her and Clarence. Well, Clarence had just met Eric, so he knew what Eric looked like. And then to be sitting there and Eric walks in, it's like, oh, what we doing here? So getting to that point, it's kind of like, let's try to continue the conversation as long as we can. But then he was like, things are starting to feel a little crowded. Yeah. We should go. And I'm like, production tells y'all to leave early. Let's come up with better reasons.
I mean, it was, it throws them off or, it threw her off a little bit.
All right. So Tommy didn't take notes during this. So he told me to write down that Eric was the only one who handled being in the same room.
Right. Yeah. So I noticed that of the guys, Eric was the only one who handled it well. Mm-hmm. As far as like being in the same room with his girl while she's on a date and while he's on a date. And he was very attentive to Tynesha. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I love that name because it's such a, like, everybody's name is regular on the show, but Tynesha is like, that's such a regular girl name.
You have a regular name.
Anyway, it's not about me. It's about them and their dates. Okay. But no, I noticed that and I was like, what could that mean as far as like his views of his girl and stuff like that, because everybody's reaction was different from his.
What woman, and I know we haven't gotten to anybody.
Laronda.
Okay. I was thinking that you would say that, but I felt like I should ask.
She was the most relaxed out of the women.
So Jessica and Eric both get home from their dates. Eric walks in drunk.
Yeah, he was faded. He had the look on his face, I've been drinking look.
He definitely had the I've been drinking, you want to go upstairs.
Right.
That's what his face looked like. So he walks in and says, honey, I'm home. They talk about their dates. And he said that his date was easily one of the best conversations that he has ever had. And that really hurt Jessica's feelings because she's like, I thought we used to have deep conversations and apparently we don't.
Yeah, I couldn't even see how he could come back after that. Like, what else can you say to her to kind of help her feel assurance about herself?
He left no grounds for assurance when they got to the group session because this was what he said to her at the house. He said that Tanisha had him locked in and no, he said this in the group. Tanisha had him locked in and he felt like he was in an empty room. Like Jessica and her date did not bother him because he was out there on his date having a blast. So when they got back to the group, Jessica said that her date Clarence was very well mannered, and Eric said that Tanisha kept his attention, and he said that his date taught him not to focus on looks so much. And I'm like, I could see that, but we gotta focus on our own looks and let this hairline go a little bit.
Yeah.
He gotta let that go.
I'll be clean shaven and bearded. But something I thought was weird, man. He chose not to go back on a date with her.
Because of looks.
He
said that she taught him not to focus on him, but he like looks are something.
Yeah. Yeah, it means something. And I don't think she was an ugly girl.
I didn't either. But if you put, and the only history of a woman that he's dated that we have is Jessica. Mm-hmm. If you put Jessica and Tanisha together and you say Jessica's his girlfriend, you're going to assume that he has a type.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Like Tanisha was a very attractive person. However, she was more on the scale of your every average day attractive girl. And Jessica is Instagram model. Yeah. Which apparently she is. Yeah. So Eric chose not to go on a new date, and Jessica said she is going to go on another date with Clarence.
Eric looked at her like, do you?
Which was getting them in the issues that they in to begin with.
Right.
You want to go with Laronda and Sean?
Yeah, let's do it.
The reason I asked that is because we didn't have a conclusion at the end. Oh. So we start off with Laronda ironing Sean's clothes for his date. And I was like,
that's hilarious, right? This is the irony, right? Okay. I'm gonna iron your clothes for your date.
Right. So Laronda is going on a date with Sir James. And
Sir James.
Sean asked Sir James when he came into the house, what makes you want to do this? And Sir James said, just want to try something new.
Yeah.
We find out that Sean's date is a young lady named Brittany, and Brittany is a professional singer. He said, with heels on, she's taller than me. That always makes me feel like a boss.
I don't know, man.
I chuckled at that because I'm like, with heels on, I'm taller than you. Does that make you feel like a boss?
Doesn't make me feel either way, man. I'm already a boss, man.
All right, then. Well,
so,
do it then, as your favorite cousin Regina would say. So Sean and Brittany sit down and they essentially bond over being in the entertainment industry together. He lets her know that, his girlfriend is very corporate and he is very creative and he does a lot of hosting and things like that. He then says that he can't concentrate because Laronda is over there being loud, ordering another round of shots with Sir James. And Sir James and Laronda left together. And as they were walking out, the camera panned to him touching her on the small of her back.
The small of her back.
To guide her out of the door. But I felt like it started before they got to the door.
What?
Him touching her on her back. So when they get back into the group setting, Sean said that he couldn't get into his date because he could hear Laronda. He was in his diary cam. He was like, Laronda not even loud.
Right.
And then Sean said that he didn't think that Laronda would like Sir James, but she don't even like dudes with muscles.
And he like what Brittany, that was her name, right? Mm-hmm. What she said on her date was, "Oh, you like to work out."
Right.
What?
Sean is the comedic relief that Hollywood was last season.
Man, he
with
is.
With slightly less anger.
He is, man.
Well, I won't even say slightly because we've only gotten to 3 episodes. And I don't remember at what point Hollywood got upset.
The first one.
So, Dr. Nicole told Sean that he was diminishing Sir James as a tactical control technique. And then Sean brought up Sir James touching her on her back. LaRonda said it didn't happen. He was like, "So you calling me a liar when I saw it with my own eyes?" And Dr. Nicole said that their filter had been broken. And I was like, I get it. The premise is to date other people and to truly date other people. Mm-hmm. But if you care about this other person, them on a date in front of you being touched by another person is going to irritate you, no matter how confident you are in this relationship. Because there's always one person that's more confident in it when you enter a show like this.
Yeah.
We ended with them not having an answer, or
we didn't get to
an answer for Laronda and Sean on if they're going on another date or not. You think Laronda going on another date? I think she'll probably go on another date with him. I don't think she will. I think that she cares too much about Sean's feelings.
See, that's not gonna work.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna work.
I would hope that Dr. Nicole would step in and be like, "Wait, y'all not doing this right. Mm-hmm. You know, we can't go further and figure out an issue, or just be like, y'all don't go on a date this week, you know." Or something like that, if she doesn't say she want another date. Because I think
that's going to happen.
Because I think the date went well, like really good for them. Mm-hmm. For Sean, on the other hand, I don't know, like he gets thrown out of his game so easily.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about myself in this situation, and I would definitely be thrown off of my game.
I wouldn't be thrown off my game, but I would be highly upset. Put his hand on the small of your back.
I would just imagine
the fact that he said the small of her back.
I would imagine coming home and there being a huge argument.
I don't think it'll be an argument, but we'll definitely talk about it. I probably would joke about it. Like,
it would be an argument
fun on your date.
If I said he didn't touch me.
I would be like, yes, I saw him touch you.
And if I kept saying no,
I would stop. Be like, yeah, I saw him, but you know, it is what it is.
So, last but not least, it's my favorite couple to watch this season is Alexia and Darion, because I think Alexia has hit him before.
She probably has.
So Darion picks up his date Kai, and they're in his truck. And then Alexia meets up with her date Desi. From the time that Desi walks up, the first thing Tommy says is she don't like him. I was like, nah, she might. He was like, she don't like him.
No.
So when they walk in, there's a stare down between Alexia and Darion and Kai. Mm-hmm. Desi is kind of oblivious to this. He sees the stare down, I'm sure, but doesn't know why she's staring at this person. So they're sitting there and they discuss what Alexia does for a living. We find out she's in sales, but she also helps with
the Hawks.
The development for the Hawks players.
Development.
That's what it was. Kai then finds out that is Alexia across the room, and she was like, this is messy.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's this actress y'all hired? Because I just don't feel like this is normal activity for somebody going out with somebody that knows that their girlfriend is in the room.
Right.
So Darion says that he runs from mess immediately. And then he says the wrong thing by saying to Kai that he thinks Alexia is intimidated by her.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you put that type of bug in someone's head so that she can then turn around and act even more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you gonna get both of y'all hit by a truck.
Man, you better quit playing with her.
She said that. Don't play with me. So at this moment, it's the moment that Darion has been waiting for, even though he doesn't know it's happening. Alexia tells him that's her dude over there. And he was like, oh, from Field Mob? I was like, why do y'all all know what he looked like except for me? I guess I missed out on the knowing what the young...
I guess so.
The rapping crowd is.
I don't know.
It wasn't Andre 3000 or nothing.
Yeah. Andre 3000 couldn't do a show like this.
Absolutely not. Because girls would be at the end of the day, can I get your autograph?
Right.
So
shit, the guys would too.
Well, I mean, the guys wouldn't go on a date with him.
I'm just saying, this is completely off the topic. If Andre 3000 was like, if I was on the show and I was, what's his name, Desi, and her dude was Andre 3000, I was like, man, if I know that this date wasn't going anywhere, I'm like, let me get I gotta get an autograph. Shoot, it's 3,000.
At least let me take a picture with you.
Right. It's three stacks.
So he says he knows who her dude is, and she mentions that that's most of her problem with him because he's allegedly in the studio working on music, nowhere to be found. And then
I was gonna say I really did like Desi because of how much conversation he was actually trying to have with Alexia.
Mm-hmm. I think that it would have gone better had Alexia been sitting in his seats,
right,
with her back to them.
But the issue for her was she kept hearing her name, and it's hard to concentrate when somebody keeps saying your name and you can hear him. But also, her focus was not on what he was asking her. What Desi was asking her anyway. She was focusing a lot on what they were doing and you know their conversation because of her name. So it was a harder date for her. On top of the fact that she didn't like him. Because I mean, like, he was trying his best to have a good conversation with her.
Very true.
But just couldn't make it happen.
Kai and Darion get ready to leave, and Kai grabs his hand. Alexia immediately says, "We let hands go." And she said it 3 times, and she was like, "Don't get hit." And I'm like, she hit him before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not condoning violence, but I see it.
He was like, that's her. It's her. I was
like this. Not holding her hand. She holding my arm.
She held me. I was like, this dude here is funny.
Not to me. Not as the person in the relationship.
Right. Nah, I got you.
No, but funny to watch.
Yeah.
Definitely not if I was in the situation. So we get back to the group setting, and Darion said that it was a horrible date because he couldn't get into it because Alexia was there. And I was like, you seemed into it.
Yeah.
They discussed the hand holding, and Dr. Nicole asks, how would it have affected Alexia if she had said nothing? And essentially, it wasn't going to work for her to not say anything.
Right.
No. But she gets that she should not have said anything.
Yeah.
And at the ending of it, Darion is going on the 3rd date with Kai, and Alexia is getting a new date. And I felt like Hollywood when Ashley went on the 3rd date with Kwame, and he was like,
they go together.
I was like, so Alexia and Kai go together.
No.
I mean,
Kai and
Darion go together. I'm sorry, I'm saying both of the women's names. We do see on the preview for next week that we're going to get into a little bit of the issue of them possibly having infidelity issues in their relationship, and that being why Alexia feels and acts the way that she does is because of those infidelity issues. I'm ready to get into the meats of that because 14 years of on and off, everything's okay. just wasn't selling me. So I'm like, it has to be something, and it can't just be I play ball, he's a rapper. It's got to be more than
something else.
But did you have anything for any of the other couples?
No, not at all.
I feel like I should ask you a question about them at the ending of this, but I don't have one. So,
well, that's fine.
Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below and let us know what you guys thought of this week's episode. And bye, y'all.
Peace.